Radio Cayman presents
The Business Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter.
Radio Cayman's Business Buzz.
Here's your host,
Anita Khan.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on the Business Buzz. This is the Thursday edition of the Business Buzz, and this is the first segment this morning. And this morning we're happy to have in the studio Mr. Dow Travers. Dow is CEO of Refuel, and we'd like to put the spotlight on Refuel this morning. Good morning, Dow.
Morning. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for warning me not to call you Mr. Travers.
Off to a good start.
Off to a good start. Very good start. How are you doing this morning?
Great, thanks. Got out of quarantine yesterday. Good to be back home.
And you don't... Oh, you're on quarantine. Okay. Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
Good to see you're up and bouncing and, good.
More or less. Feeling healthy. Well rested.
That's
Ready
good.
for you this morning.
Okay. Now, thanks for coming on the show. Can you give us some background information on Refuel? When it was established and your primary objective of getting Refuel started?
Well, we all started about 7 or 8 years ago with a renewable vegetable oil company that converted the fuel into biodiesel. But we quickly found out we weren't going to be able to bring it to market. That was very difficult at the time with the government back then. So we realized we would have to circumvent the existing system and bring fuels directly to the customer ourselves. And that's when Refuel was born. So Refuel's vision is to make modern emission-reducing renewable content fuels commonplace in Cayman, which is right in line with what the National Energy Policy's fuel sector strategy is, and we hope to accomplish this.
Okay. Very good. If you're just joining us, you're listening to the Business Buzz. Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Insurance Center and Cayman Medical Supplies. Coming soon, Brack Medical Supplies, specializing in retail medical supplies in the Sister Islands. And we're speaking with Mr. Dow Travers, CEO of Refuel. I love my Refuel fuel.
Love your Refuel fuel.
I do.
Do you carry a bumper sticker around as well?
No, I didn't get one of those.
Have to bring one in.
Yes, please. I'd like to have one in the back of my car. No, Dow, how has Refuel grown over the 8 years or so? And are there plans for expansion of your services to maybe the Savannah or Bontong area, or any other location, as a matter of fact?
There are absolutely plans to expand. We don't plan to expand for the sake of expansion. We plan to expand for when we meet our capacity to supply at any one location. I used to say we've been growing quarter on quarter, but COVID put a pretty heavy dent in that last year. But we just broke a new volume record last month, so we're back on track. I think you might have heard recently the planning department approved a second station on the Easterly Tibbets by the Island Heritage Roundabout. So that was a very big step for us because we've been trying to expand for the best part of 3 years now. So we're very much so looking forward to bringing our products up to that end of the island.
So your second location will be on the Easterly Tibbets.
It will, up by the Island Heritage Roundabout. Yeah, thank you very much.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, it was a long stretch to get that implemented. We also have plans when that reaches capacity to move out east as well. I think there's quite a lot of demand from that, particularly on social media.
Yeah.
People talk about it quite a bit.
I live in Newland, so...
Perfect. Close, there you go. And for the last 3 years, we've been trying to open up a mobile delivery station. Trying to come into compliance with the new regulations that were made in 17 took some time, but we opened 2 months ago, and we're now sort of beta testing the market, going out to select customers. If you want to know more, you can email us at mobile.refuel.ky. But we hope to launch an app much like the Let's Eat Flex type version app so that everyone will have access to it via their phone.
See, if I'm driving along, say, the East-West Arterial and I run out of fuel, you can come and deliver.
Not exactly our target market.
Okay.
We're looking more
about boats and stuff
construction
like
industry, generators, boats,
Okay.
the immobile market that can't make it to us when they remember to fill up.
Okay, one of these days.
Yes.
All right, Dow, can you highlight some of your main products and services offered at Refuel?
Yeah, of course. So what we've done is we've brought Cayman up to the standard that is the benchmark in most of the world. The National Energy Policy's fuel sector strategy deliberately points out these fuels. They're called E10 and B5, and they're renewable content fuels. So what the majority of the globe did is when lead additives were phased out in the 60s, 70s because of the obvious toxic reasons, it was replaced with ethanol content as an octane booster. And so for the last 40 years, these fuels have been prevalent and growing around the globe. And they have, because of the renewable content in them, emission-reducing capabilities. And because they're oxygenated, they have oxygen in it, as opposed to just a regular carbon chain, they allow for a cleaner combustion. So we sell E10, B5, and also a B20 product. And that second number is merely the ethanol or biodiesel content that is prevalent in the fuel
B20.
Itself. For E10, it would mean it's 10% ethanol.
Right.
And
okay.
the EPA recently said that this is substantially similar to, not recently, decades ago, said this is substantially similar to gasoline and fully substitutable. Allfreg's recent fuel market study, also their consultants said the same thing. Below 10%, this is identical to gasoline, and it meets the exact same ASTM 4814 standard. And the same thing is said for the biodiesel. So B5 means it has 5% biodiesel content, but it's, again, in this case, they said it's entirely fungible and substitutable with diesel product because the developed countries recognized the emission-reducing benefits of these products, and they wanted them to be drop-in, which is a term for when you can put it in existing infrastructure and engines without even asking a question. They wanted to be able to implement it the next day. And so all these products are fully substitutable with existing products, but because of that renewable content, we're a step closer to accomplishing our vision of making these prevalent in Cayman, and they lower emissions.
And how are we doing with that so far?
Well, we just started our growth for that second station. So the first one's at capacity. I think the market has really spoken for itself there. I believe we have, I don't think I'm being optimistic when I say close to 20% of the market traveling through our one single station right now, when there's 20 other stations on island. So it's been picked up enthusiastically by the public who, one, want to lower their emissions, and two, want to lower their price point.
How does, let's talk a bit about emission reduction, the health and environmental benefits of the fuel sold at Refuel.
Sure. I think the Australian Medical Association said it best, because this fuel is prevalent there as well. Prevalent, it's the only fuel sold as gasoline. They said there's incontrovertible evidence that the addition of ethanol to gasoline and the addition of biodiesel to diesel will reduce the ill health and deaths associated with the combustion of those products. So they said it best, and that's the consensus globally, and there's plenty of studies that show these things. 90% of all the toxic emissions that come out of combustion of gasoline are from benzene, and E10 reduces benzene by 27%. The EPA said total toxic mass is reduced by 13%. Butadiene, other carcinogen, reduced by 19%. Carbon monoxide is reduced by 37%. So it's not really a debate on if these are emission-reducing products, it's how do we make them more common in Cayman.
How do we do that?
Step one is always scale. I mean, Facebook has its phrase, move fast, break things, growth, growth, growth. We can't make these products viable until we have scale to bring them in. And these are by no means and I think you'll lead on to this later, by no means the be-all and end-all of where we're heading with these products. This is just step one. There are all sorts of future next-gen technologies that are dropping in that can reduce emissions even further. But we have to make the existing products commonplace, and we have to have everyone used to them and using them before we can switch over to better things.
So you're having a second location soon. Mm-hmm. Are you seeing more of a demand for low emission products and lower price alternatives? It's
very hard to control for if our demand is because of the emission reducing quality. Mm-hmm. Or the price point.
The price.
Or, as you said, the customer service, perhaps. Mm-hmm. There's lots and lots of variables that one can control for. But the undoubtable question is, we have the demand for it. And where exactly that fits, I don't know. But we hope at the new station to further test the theory that there is significant portion of this is demand for renewables through the implementation of E85, which is an 85%
What's that,
ethanol.
E85?
It's called E85. It's not in your notes over there. It's flex fuel.
Okay, flex fuel.
And this, again, isn't the be-all and end-all of renewable products, but it is the next step that has been implemented globally. It's the only fuel used in all of Brazil for gasoline. And it's, instead of being 10%, it's 85%. Unlike the other things I said, this is specifically for a specific type of car that can use it, but they're prevalent. If you've ever seen the yellow gas cap on Chevys or Tahoes or Suburbans, those are flex fuel vehicles. And they're specifically designed to run on this even lower emission product.
I'm going to pay attention next time.
There you go.
No, Dow, the next generation renewable drop-in products, you just alluded to that just now. Are they becoming commercially viable yearly? And how does Refuel plan to introduce them to our local market?
Yeah, just reiterating, our first step is scale. They only become viable at scale. It's a very important part of our vision and our priorities. Some of them already are in existence. There's renewable hydrocarbons are in existence in many countries in the world. California leads in them. They are chemically identical petroleum chains that are created from biomass. But there's all sorts of unicorn products out there that one day we could hope to implement.
Unicorn.
I call them unicorn products. Okay. Because they're second, third, fourth, fifth generation renewables that don't exist today, but in the 5-10 year plan could become very viable. Carbon engineering out of Canada is a great one, where they pull carbon out of the air and make carbon chains and make gasoline out of it. So step one of our vision is to make these modern emission reducing renewable content fuels commonplace in Cayman. Step two is while lowering price point, and step three is to facilitate the introduction of locally made renewables. So once we get to a viable scale, we could start looking at bringing the reduction of these renewables to Cayman in one way or another.
Looking forward to that. How did you get involved with all of this? I'm just curious.
Long story. It's actually part of my team. I'll mention them. James McGinn, our head of operations, and I came down we graduated from Brown together in 12, and we saw the problem with price points, and we knew there was an alternative, recycling vegetable oils. And he's a biomedical engineer, so he was the chemical technician behind making the products, which we did on island. We've since found that to be inhibitive, the environment down here to be inhibitive to making those. So again, we're looking for scale before we move into that full stream. But I had a degree in geology, biology, which was the inextricable link between biology and geology and its control over Earth system's history. So I've always wanted to come to Cayman and move us more off of fossil fuels and towards more renewable products.
I'm glad you did.
Thank you.
Glad you were in the studio this morning so we can learn a lot more. Before we take a break, Dow, can you tell us a little bit about you have a fleet program, right?
We do have a fleet program. So one of the sad parts of COVID is that with the borders locked down, we can't bring technicians into the island anymore. So we're in the middle of redeveloping our entire fleet program. But if you are a corporate customer and you'd like to sign up for us, essentially it's a credit account, and it's tracked via mobile phones, and it's all paperless. There's an online portal. You can see everything online, and we think that's a step in the right direction.
And what type of gas? We're moving from fleet to gas for ideal gas for outboard engines.
Do you have time before your break?
Yeah. Because when we come back from the break, we want to talk about factors that determine gas prices.
Okay. Well, that's the big one. We'll need a break for that.
Yes, thought so.
Your owner's manual, and this is the case with any vehicle or any product, will always say exactly the right product for your engine, for your engine to use. I'll just leave you on one point. Mercury Marine has come out and stated that our products may actually be superior marine fuels than traditional because phase separation occurs after much greater water content. So whereas a traditional gasoline product phase separates after about 0.15 teaspoons of water, our product can absorb 26 times more water before phase separation occurs, which means you can pass water through your system and keep an overall drier system.
I'm trying to process that.
There you go.
I'm not a swimmer nor a boater, so but I'm very, very, very cognizant of what all this stuff do to our environment.
All you need to know is these fuels are substantially similar to gasoline, are fully substitutable, and are 98% of all gasoline sold in North America are these products.
And that's all we need to do.
There you go.
And with that, we're going to take that break, Susan.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Kenneth Norman Chisholm was born in Savannah, the son of Edwin and Rosina Chisholm. Edwin later moved his family to Forest Glen in Northside, where Kenneth grew up. As a young man, he traveled to Florida and worked on the Florida East Coast Railroad. During this time, he married Amy Pascal. They then returned to Cayman and made their home in Northside and had 6 children. He continued to make his living as a carpenter, first in Panama and then in Venezuela. In 1949, he returned to Cayman, but not to retire. He purchased a truck and carried passengers and freight for many years. He also operated a small grocery store and farmed his land, growing produce, in which he took great pride and which he not only sold but shared with family and friends. During the 1950s, he was elected as a vestryman. After his retirement, he continued to live a quiet and peaceful life with family until his death.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Not long ago, concerned citizen Shirlene noticed a need and stepped right up to fix it. Today, Rotary Central's community service, in partnership with West Bay community citizen Ms. Shirlene Schmid, are pleased to present 5 new patient wheelchairs. These will be used at HSA community healthcare centers, beginning with West Bay Nurses District Clinic and the Bodentown Healthcare Center. Ready for duty, ready to increase on-campus patient mobility and convenience, moving patients from car to clinic and clinic to car. One citizen making a positive difference along with Rotary Central. Rotary opens opportunities.
Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Still delivering island-wide for your convenience.
2020. Unprecedented times, uncertainty, and literally a new way of life.
Life happens, usually without warning.
That is why making sure that your family is insured is so important.
Cayman Insurance Center, 47 years strong, working to protect your family and your most valuable assets.
Whether you need to get a quote, renew a policy, or file a claim, Cayman Insurance Center is here to protect you and your family.
For more information, call 949-4657. Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, health, motor, and other lines of insurance products and services at affordable rates.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Thank you and welcome back to the Business Buzz. If you're just joining us, Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us via live stream on YouTube. In the studio this morning, we have Mr. Dow Travers. Dow is the CEO of Refuel. Good morning again, Dow.
Morning again.
I'm glad you didn't leave me.
No.
Most times I'm hopeful that the guests don't leave me.
This is intriguing.
It's intriguing. We're glad to have you. Now we're going to talk about some prices. What factors, Dow, determine gas prices? And when oil prices drop globally, why is it now reflected in the price of fuel here in the Cayman Islands?
So this is a very in-depth question that maybe we don't have time to discuss in a soundbite. But I'll give it a go. Maybe
our producer need to give us some more time.
I hear she stole a minute from me for advertising. You look upset. This is the subject of the study that Ofreg, our regulator, has been looking into for a few years now with their consultants. A very large part of it is our costs don't end when fuel hits the island. The fixed cost allocation of our business is huge. You have massive overheads, massive fixed costs. And without scale, which is why I've been saying this term many, many times throughout the day, you just can't allocate those fixed costs over enough of your gallons. So the definition of scale is when your marginal cost, your cost for your next unit, is less than your average cost, you have economies of scale. Mm-hmm. And when you have huge fixed costs, your first few gallons cost you a lot per gallon. But then the more gallons you have, your average cost is brought down considerably. Right. And I think through our unique model and our competitive dynamics, being able to integrate and being asset light, we've been able to create a scenario where we can lower those fixed costs per gallon and be more competitive. So that's why we are on average 30 to 50 cents below per gallon than our competitors. Okay. And with greater scale, we can lower the price point further. So this is what kind of frustrated us at Refuel 2 years ago when initially our planning refuel approval to expand was denied, because this is a scale game. And if we had been allowed to open 2 years ago, we were just granted planning permission last month, and we're all very happy about that. But if we were granted permission 2 years ago, we would be open now. Our volumes would have doubled, and our costs would not have doubled. So that synergy, that gap in costs and scale, would have allowed us to significantly reduce prices even further. And we hope to do that in 2 years when this one finally comes online.
So we can look forward to lower prices from Refuel.
With scale. That's what scale and demand is.
I'm going to think about scale all day today, though. No, when a customer fills up with Refuel, I understand that a certain percentage of the profit is donated to the National Trust of the Cayman Islands. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and the importance, of course, of helping our environment?
It is. It's specifically donated, actually, for mangrove conservation. Because our goal here is almost offsetting is the term everyone likes, but it's not actually what's happening here. But it's a form of offsetting. So we would like every customer who comes to us to think that a percentage is going to protect mangroves, so that carbon is kept out of the air and locked up in the soil. Mangroves are tremendous carbon sinks. When they absorb carbon, it goes into their roots, and when they die, it's put in the soil, and then over generations and generations, it's locked up in the soil as a passive source. So it's removed out of the air. So this is just another initiative we have to further reduce our customers' carbon footprint. A percentage goes to protect mangroves, so a percentage of all your emissions are being locked up in mangroves.
So let me guess, most times you're annoyed when those mangroves are destroyed.
Yes,
that's another
I think
part
this
of the
is
discussion.
Yeah, this is a topic on development in the Cayman Islands and economic expansion, which perhaps is not my niche.
Okay, all right. Now my forte either. What can someone do to reduce their fuel costs, and why? The important question is, why should someone choose to drive over to your location and fuel up with Refuel?
Our vision, I'll say it again, is to make modern emission-reducing fuels with renewable content commonplace in Cayman. So if you are aligned with our vision and you want to make these fuels commonplace in Cayman, please come to us. We believe we can lower emissions and lower your price point, and only with greater demand and scale can we accomplish these visions even further? You're part of our team on this, all of Cayman. You can help us accomplish our vision, and we hope you'll be part of that.
Okay, I already am. So, now, where is Refuel located?
We're currently by the airport post office. We've launched our mobile site. So if you want to know more, you can email mobile@refuel.ky. We are in the process of building a delivery application for your phone, which will function much in the same way as Flex and other delivery Uber-type services.
Let's eat.
There you go. Perfect. Shameless branding. There we go. Wonderful. Throw the names out there. And that will give everyone the access to the fuel on their phone. And we just got planning permission, as we said, thank you very much, to open on the Easterly Tibbetts Highway by Island Heritage. But that's a few years away. But if you'd like to use our products now, the airport post office, or you can inquire more about our mobile delivery service. And
you did not damage any mangroves for that site, right?
The existing one?
Mm-hmm.
It's in the middle of the industrial park.
The new one, the upcoming one. I'm just kidding.
We'll protect an equal portion of them through our donation.
I'm happy to hear that, Dow. Now, Dow, before I let you go, because I know you're very busy, is there anything else you'd like to let our listeners, viewers know?
No, thank you very much for having me on board. I'm glad that you've all supported Refuel through the few years and that you brought our stations to capacity. And we hope to continue bringing you more of these products and even greater products in the future.
And can you get some contact details?
We are contactable on Instagram and Facebook and our webpage, refuel.ky, and on Google. So if you Google us, Facebook us, Instagram us, or go to our webpage, all the contacts and email links are
How about a good old telephone?
It's all on our web pages. I think someone can remember refuel.ky.
Yeah, 745 refuel.
Yes.
Can't miss that. Dow, thank you so much for popping by the studio this morning. We look forward to more great things coming from Refuel. Congratulations with the second location. And of course, I'll be over there to get my gas.
Again, thank you very much for having us.
Thank you so much. I want to say thank you to our sponsors this morning, Cayman Insurance Center and Cayman Medical Supplies. We're going to take a quick break, news, weather report, traffic, and we'll be back with our second segment, and we'll be speaking to the folks from Integra Healthcare.
Thank you, Anita. And studio time by Foster's is 7:59.
When you're on the go, the experienced team at Foster's Pharmacy are here to help. Drop off your prescription while you shop or WhatsApp us and we'll prepare it, ready for your arrival.
Whether you need prescription or over-the-counter medications, blood glucose testing, or advice on vitamins and supplements, we're here early in the morning to late at night. Both of our locations at our Camana Bay and airport stores are open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., Monday to Saturday.
For more info, visit fosters.ky/pharmacy. Foster's Pharmacy. Better health because we care.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. News is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. We are a not-for-profit, member-centric plan with a democratically elected volunteer board of trustees representing all sectors of the Cayman Islands economy. We have an all-in expense ratio of less than 1%, over 20,000 members, and $490 million in assets under management. We were the first multi-employer pension plan approved by the regulator in the late 1990s, and today we are still strong, secure, and are here for our employees and employers alike. If you would like to join or require further information, visit chamberpension.ky. And for information as it happens, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky or call 745-7630. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. The 2021 Cayman Islands Digital Economy Conference kicks off this morning at 9 a.m., featuring Commerce, Investment and Innovation Minister, the Honorable Andre Ebanks, along with SIDAC founder and FTS Director Paul Biles, James Alexander, Director of Future Agenda, and Director of E-Government for Cayman, Ian Tibbetts. Radio Cayman's April Cummings has more.
The theme this year is Cayman Islands 3.0, putting Cayman on the digitization track. It's the fourth year for the conference, which will focus on how the Cayman Islands can more fully immerse itself into the digital revolution. International technology experts in cybersecurity, cryptocurrency, and blockchain will explore the trends in digitization and Cayman's place on the digital track. The online conference will discuss the prospects of a digital currency, its risks and benefits, and organizers say they also plan to introduce new Cayman Islands technological innovations to this year's audience. April Cummings, Radio Cayman News.
The Cayman Islands Tourism Association teams up with R3 Foundation to offer a $10,000 raffle prize to entice people to get their COVID-19 vaccine. Radio Cayman's Dion England reports.
CETA President Mark Langevin says the board wanted to support the call for action by the Minister of Tourism in order to reach the percentage of vaccinated people in Cayman needed to reopen our borders. To that end, they felt a big prize draw was required to get people's attention. In addition, the Tourism Association will be purchasing an additional $15,000 worth of gift certificates from local tourism businesses negatively impacted by the closure of borders. Those gift certificates will be added to the raffle prize list, with the funds donated by the R3 Foundation. Although the goal of the raffle is to give people who have not yet been vaccinated a push to do so, both the CETA and the R3 Foundation felt it was appropriate to offer the raffle and prizes to all Cayman Islands residents that have been inoculated. Reporting for Radio Cayman News, I'm Dion Anglin.
And a video specialist is the Cayman Islands Employee of the Month. CIGTV's Donna Bush has more.
Government Information Services videographer Lenford Wilkes has been awarded Employee of the Month for March 2021. Mr. Wilkes was recognized by external and internal clients for his demonstration of outstanding customer service. Mr. Wilkes was able to ensure technical aspects needed to provide live coverage of government events which are of a national importance were in place. He's also worked tirelessly to facilitate needed upgrades to the CIG television infrastructure. We say congratulations to our colleague.
Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Moira Alderson. Denmark has become the first European country to approve a law providing for asylum seekers to be sent abroad for processing. Parliament adopted the proposal to set up camps outside the European Union where refugees' applications would be considered. The Danish Refugee Council called the law irresponsible. The European Union's top court has ruled that Germany exceeded EU air pollution limits for at least 6 years. The European Commission took Berlin to court over the nitrogen dioxide levels in German cities up to 2016. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says all right-wing members of parliament must oppose a planned new government, which he described as left-wing and dangerous. He was speaking for the first time since opposition leaders struck a deal on a coalition that would oust him. There are fears that hundreds of tons of oil could spill into the sea off Sri Lanka, where a burnt-out cargo ship has broken up. Salvage teams abandoned an attempt to tow the wreck to deeper waters. The Indian government has been given 2 weeks to review its vaccination policy after the country's top court called it arbitrary and irrational. In a scathing criticism, the Supreme Court asked why jabs for over 45s were free while younger age groups had to pay. The president of Tokyo 2020 says she is absolutely certain that the Olympic Games will go ahead on schedule in 50 days' time. Seiko Hashimoto said it may be necessary to bar all spectators if Japan's coronavirus outbreak worsens. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky.
The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. Are you aware of the performance of your pension plan? The Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan provides quarterly fund fact sheets for our members to stay informed with the plan's performance.
For the year ended August 31st, various life cycle funds provided returns between 9.2% and 16.5%, and our all-in expense ratio is currently the lowest it's ever been, a record low at 0.72%. Visit chamberpension.ky to review our fund fact sheets. You can see the performance as far back as 10 years. Remember that pensions are a longer-term investment strategy. Focus on the long term rather than the short-term returns. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan continues to perform for you.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
I'm looking for a new pizza joint with that perfect crust. My car needs a bit of a tune-up, and my pregnant wife needs something from the pharmacy. So I turned to the printed yellow directory, and in an instant, the pizzas are ordered, the oil change is booked, and the thing that I'm not allowed to say out loud has been purchased for my wife. Problem solved. When you need something quick, do yourself a favor. Flip through the printed yellow directory. Stop searching, start finding. Yellow, we know local.
Student registration for the 2021-2022 academic school year is open to the public from 8th April to 30th June 2021. Students must now be registered online at schools.edu.ky. Parents will have the ability to enter the students' information and securely upload all relevant documents. If you need assistance, please contact the Department of Education Services at 945-1199 or email edu.registration@gov.ky.
The 8:10 a.m. Weather Report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
For over 100 years, more than 5.8 million people across the Americas and the Caribbean have placed their trust in Pan American Life Insurance Group. We have delivered on our promise and have proven that we are more than an insurance company. We are family. To learn more about our first-in-class individual and group life, disability and accident solutions, please visit Pan American International Insurance Corporation at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Song Road, Grand Cayman, or contact us at 949-8304 and visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
Pleasant good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 84 degrees. Relative humidity is 82%. The barometric pressure 29.94 inches and rising. The wind is east at 9 knots. Overnight low temperature was 79 degrees. Synopsis indicate light winds and slight seas with some isolated showers are expected over the Cayman area for the next 24 hours in association with the upper level trough over the Western Caribbean. Radar images show isolated showers in and around the Cayman area moving towards the northwest. Now the forecast for today calling for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of afternoon showers and possible thunder, and temperatures will be in the upper 80s. Your winds will be east to southeast at 5 to 10 knots and seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. Expect for tonight partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers and temperatures falling to the upper 70s tonight. Your winds will be east to southeast at 5 to 10 knots and seas will be slight with wave heights of less than 2 feet. Low tide will be this afternoon at a minute after 12. High tide this evening at 6:31. The sun will set this evening at 6:59 and will rise tomorrow morning at 5:47. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Saturday morning.
The 8:10 a.m. Weather Report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
For over 100 years, more than 5.8 million people across the Americas and the Caribbean have placed their trust in Pan American Life Insurance Group. We have delivered on our promise and have proven that we are more than an insurance company. We are family. To learn more about our first-in-class individual and group life, disability and accident solutions, please visit Pan American International Insurance Corporation at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Song Road, Grand Cayman, or contact us at 949-8304 and visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Achieving your goals is a very rewarding feeling, but at times can feel very frustrating, especially if and when we miss our target. As you approach your goals in life, set yourself up for success.
When setting your goals, have a deadline. Procrastination is common in human nature. Setting a time to review the work helps to increase motivation because you know that you have to have it done by a certain time. This also ensures that you slow down to review progress. Consider rewards if things are going well. If things are not going as well as you would like, a deadline gives you a chance to pause and reflect on the current goal to see if there may be something getting in the way of being able to get it done.
Change your thinking and change your life.
Radio Cayman's Cayman Strong Series was brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. OnCourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Top of the morning to you once again. Let's take a look what's happening on our roads. Coming from the West Bay four-way stop, traffic is moderate and steady traffic coming from the Butterfield roundabout, heading towards the Industrial Park area. Traffic also steady on Huldah Avenue and coming off of Bobby Thompson Way. Busy traffic on the Linford Pearson Highway and also coming off the Linford Pearson Highway on Agnes Way. Traffic is steady on Cool Road, some sections moderate closer to town. And looking to the east on Shamrock Road, further up past the Tomlinson roundabout, traffic is flowing moderately, as well as coming off of Rex Crichton Boulevard. Closer to town on Edward Street, traffic is moderate, and Shedden Road, traffic flowing at a good pace, as well as on Eastern Avenue and Godfrey Nixon Way. As we look to the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz, traffic is moderate in both directions. That's the very latest on your traffic. Join us again come 10 minutes after 12. We'll give you another traffic report. Take heed, don't speed.
Things just got a bit hotter on Island. Come in today and order the new spicy Korean subs at Subway. They're sweet, spicy, and especially satisfying. Stop in and try the pulled pork with spicy Korean sauce, or the chicken with spicy Korean sauce. And you can message WhatsApp at 929-4658. Order online or use Let's Eat or the Bento app. The spicy Korean subs at Subway in 2 flavors, extra saucy and extra spicy. Subway, eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
It's not Toolfest again at A.L. Thompson's. Toolfest is the annual 2-day event held since 2009. Not Toolfest is our travel-restricted version. Instead of 2 days, Not Toolfest is 2 weeks of the best prices of the year on select tools, buy one, get one offers, and a free laser level with tool purchases over $200. So plan now for a Not event that you cannot miss. May 21st through June 5th at A.L. Thompson's. It's not Toolfest, but it's almost as good.
Radio Cayman Super Jam Show, the #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio. Enjoy a mix of pop, hip-hop, dancehall, urban gospel. The Super Jam Show is brought to you by these kind sponsors.
The Cayman Islands Football Association, CIFA, building a better future for Cayman football.
Cayman Insurance Center. Don't take chances with your family's future.
UWI Open Campus, on-site, online, and on demand.
Visit open.uwi.edu. Call them today at 946-8322. Train with Dre. Train with Dre's lunch weight loss program. Get your meals right and lose weight today. No excuses, no gimmicks. Call Dre today at 928-3420.
The Super Jam, the #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio. Super Jam. Business Boss.
Anita Khan.
Good morning and welcome back to the second segment of the Business Buzz for this beautiful Thursday morning. Thank you, Susan. It's now 18 minutes after 8 o'clock. We are heading up to the 9 o'clock hour. But in the meantime, on this second segment, I have a studio full of folks. And I want to ask a question, is there a doctor in the house?
There is.
There is. Okay. This morning we're putting the spotlight on Integra Healthcare Limited. They stand for excellence, integrity, commitment, and passion. And looking around the studio this morning, I see passion. I see folks who are very passionate about what they do. And since we have a full house, I'll let them introduce themselves. And I'll start with the person next to me, right next to me. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am fine.
Good.
And you are?
My name is Ali. I'm the midwife at Integra, and I've been there for, since January now.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
And glad to have you in the studio this morning. And moving right along around the table, we have, is this a round table we call it? Looks like a round table. Good morning.
Good morning. My name's Lisa Joles and I'm an obstetrician and gynecologist. And I've been working in Integra since March last year, just before lockdown started.
Just before lockdown.
Yeah.
Good to have you on board. And good morning.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Madhavi Manoharan. I'm one of the newest additions to the Integra family. I started in January this year.
So everybody's basically new then.
Newbies.
Okay, newbies. And as we go to the other half of the table, good morning.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Sarah Watkin. I am one of the directors of Integra. So I've been there from the very beginning, back in February 2019. I'm a paediatrician, but I'm also a neonatologist, which is a doctor who looks after preterm babies.
And I could see you're a fun person. I can see all the children love you.
Thank you.
Do you give lollipops? No, we'll get to that. And we move to the first gentleman in the room.
Yeah. Hi, good morning. I'm Andrew Vincent. I'm one of the directors of Integra as well. Also there from the very, very beginning, help run the business.
You help run the business. He collects the money too, right? No, I'm just kidding. And good morning, the last of our guests this morning in the studio.
Good morning. My name is Davide Altamura. I'm one of the dermatology doctors working for Integra. I have a special interest in skin cancer and skin surgery, and I think I'm the last arrived to the clinic. I've been working for Integra since April this year.
Well, welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
And you look like a great team. You work well all the time, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, can you share some details on the thinking or the ethos behind Integra Healthcare Limited and why it was set up, and best of all, the quality of service that you offer?
Okay, well, that's a good place to start. I mean, we set up Integra.
And Mr. Andrew Vincent. he is the director, and he'll take that.
Yeah, so yes, quality was a good place to start because that was the driving ethos behind setting up Integra. We wanted to offer a level of quality, both in the types of services and the level of care that we provided for patients, but also in the service of the practices itself in terms of customer service. It was set up by a group of people that had worked on Ireland for a while and had a vision for a different level of healthcare. And so we kind of challenged ourselves to raise the bar. And I think to do that, you have to do that by setting up your own clinic so that you can put in place the facilities, the services, the types of people, the equipment, make the investments that needed to be made to really offer a very, very different level of service. So that's why we set it up, and that's what we continue to challenge ourselves to do every day.
And for such a young company, how do you feel?
Well, it's been a journey, and it's been a very rapid journey. So when we think about where we started just in 2019 and where we are today, the shape of the company is completely different. We've managed to expand our services. We're very much focused on women's, children's, family medicine and dermatology. So we set out to grow significant services in those areas to be able to offer very, very comprehensive services, as opposed to being a clinic that just had a lot of different people and dabbled in a lot of different areas. What we wanted to do was make sure we really developed depth and quality of service in key areas, and that's what we've managed to do over really a very short time, much faster than we felt than we envisaged doing when we set up.
And we have 4 doctors in the house this morning. I feel safe. I feel safe and healthy. And okay, so we have 4 doctors in the house. Tell us about the doctors and staff that make up the team at Integra Healthcare Limited.
So I was going to talk about that, if that's okay. So as Andrew's already alluded to, when we set up Integra, what we really wanted to do was to attract the very best doctors who'd been trained to tertiary level, but doctors who were passionate about delivering high quality care, who were up to date in their practice and remained up to date and followed international guidelines. So we have doctors in the areas of dermatology, family medicine and general practice, paediatrics and obstetrics and gynecology. So our 2 dermatologists, Dr. Duncan, who is not here today, has been on Ireland for some time, and many of you will know her, looks after every age of child, from child to adult with dermatology concerns. Dr. Davidies is mentioned, his interests are in skin cancer and skin surgery. In paediatrics, I'm very grateful to have 2 wonderful colleagues, Dr. Jasmina Marinova, who is an excellent general paediatrician but has a special interest in children's skin problems, and Dr. Sarah Newton, who many of you will know on Ireland, who is exceptional at the complex child or the child with unusual problems or concerns. And then there's me, as I said, who is a paediatrician but also predominantly a neonatologist, who's a doctor who looks after preterm babies. We're also delighted to have a superb women's health team, but I thought they might talk about what they offer at Integra.
Absolutely, yeah. We have a great team on board at Integra with me, Dr. Lisa, Ali, and one of our nurses, Cindy. So we offer a comprehensive holistic care in joint collaboration with the pediatric team and neonatology team. We look after both women who have low risk, that is no medical problems in pregnancy, and also women who have high risk pregnancies, that is medical problems like diabetes, high blood pressure, and all of that. The good thing about Integra is they get to meet the pediatrician who will be there at the time of delivery, during the pregnancy, and it's seamless. After delivery, the care passes seamlessly to the baby as well. Both me and Dr. Lisa accredited trained in gynecology. I am trained in colposcopy and vulval disorders, so we look after women with abnormal smears. We also look after young children with gynecological problems, as well as teenagers who have problems with their periods. Dr. Lisa is specialized in fertility, and we can look after women with those problems, investigate them, and forward them for further treatment.
Okay. Dr. Lisa?
Yes, so the gynecology services we have, are right from the cradle to the grave. So we look after women at all ages through their life, and I think that's really important. And the paediatric and adolescent service in the UK is based on joint working with paediatricians. So the benefit of being in the same office with the paediatricians so that we can discuss paediatric and adolescent cases together is state of the art for the UK, and I think it's fairly unique on island. So that's a really valuable service. But there's the other aspects of gynecology care throughout life, period problems, then there's menopause issues, as well as fertility, pelvic pain. So I have a special interest in laparoscopic surgery, which is the keyhole surgery, where people are having conditions like endometriosis or chronic pelvic pain. And we both offer hysteroscopic services, which again is keyhole surgery, but within the cavity of the womb itself. So we really can offer a comprehensive service for gynecological problems.
Okay. And we have midwife Ali. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, and then Dr. Javad. Dr. David, come on, we'll keep this easy. For myself, Dr. David, good morning. Good morning to everyone.
Good morning to you. Yes, we have a very good dermatology team at Integra. We can manage the full range of dermatological disorders in adults and pediatric. We do offer a comprehensive skin cancer screening as well, especially for melanoma. I am sure most of the audience know what melanoma is, which is a cancerous mole, potentially life-threatening, and it's very important to diagnose melanoma in a very early stage, because in an early stage melanoma is actually a curable disease. We have a good team, 2 dermatologists with at least 10 years experience in skin cancer screening, 2 very efficient dermatology nurses, and then we have a very advanced artificial technology for the identification of skin cancer. It's in actual fact an artificial intelligence which is able to screen skin lesion, identify with a high degree of accuracy a lesion with malignancy potential, and it's a great help in our clinical practice when we screen people for skin cancer. A skin examination is a painless and stressless experience, which we recommend to everyone to do. This is because the skin is actually the external organ, is the organ we can see. What dermatologists do is to basically check skin lesions and eventually use our artificial intelligence to have a very accurate analysis of skin lesions in order to diagnose skin cancer in a very early stage.
And you do focus on other non-cancerous skin disorders,
psoriasis
and eczema
as well. Again, as I said, we can mention the full range of dermatological disorders, inflammatory disorders. The most common ones are psoriasis, eczema, infectious diseases, skin disorders, also hair loss, nail problems, all sorts of dermatological conditions.
Very good. Very good. Now, I was going to ask, with regards to women's health, what do you offer at Integra Healthcare relating to obstetrics and gynecology service? You did allude to some of it, but yes, in a bit more detail.
So, as I said, we look after low-risk women, that is, who have no medical problems. We also look after, because I'm trained in maternal fetal medicine, so I'm more than happy to look after women who have medical problems in pregnancy or even before pregnancy. So we also offer ultrasound scan services for babies who've been identified with problems during pregnancy, management of women with such kind of problems, and helping in their delivery as well. With gynecology, we offer annual general pap tests like cervical screening, and if there are any abnormalities detected in those pap tests, we also offer treatment, which is colposcopy, because I'm an accredited colposcopist from UK. We look after women with gynecology problems like heavy periods, fibroids, hysteroscopy, laparoscopic surgeries, And as Lisa said, we also work with women who have problems becoming pregnant. We do investigations for them and refer them for onward IVF if necessary. We jointly with the pediatric colleagues, we look after young kids with problems down there, as well as teenagers who have problems with their periods. They come with heavy periods or not polycystic ovaries or any of those kind of concerns.
That's good to know. We're going to take a quick break. If you're just joining us, you're listening to Radio Cayman. I'm your host, Anita Khan, and we're speaking with almost everyone from Integra Healthcare Limited. In the studio, we have Dr. Sarah Watkin, Dr. Lisa Jewels, Dr. Madhavi Manohara, and Dr. David, midwife Ali, and Mr. Andrew Vincent. Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Still delivering island-wide for your convenience.
For 32 years, the Cayman Islands National Dance Company have performed well-received shows for enthusiastic audiences. For our 33rd season, we're grateful for the support, the dedicated dancers, and sacrifices made. So without further ado, Cayman Islands National Dance Company presents Gratitude. Gratitude celebrates over 3 decades of performances, both established and new dances. Gratitude is a must-see. June 5th and 6th at Harkwell Theater. Get your tickets today at Radiance Dance Studio, at the door, or call 926-1826. Sponsored by Caribbean Utilities Company, ARC Directors, Vise Closet, and Radio Cayman.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz. Good morning. In the studio, we have 4 doctors, a full team, a midwife and director, and also director and co-owner of Integra Healthcare Limited. Now, just let's talk a little bit about the first-class women's health and the state-of-art equipment at Integra.
Yeah, we were really excited to move into the new wing of the clinic very recently. And what we've now got is a really calm, private space. So there's a calm, welcoming reception area and waiting area. And I think that's really important because gynecology is a very intimate service, and a lot of women find it very, very stressful. So the fact that we're keeping it calm as soon as they arrive, there's dignity in that they're away from the rest of the clinic, so they have a degree of privacy. And then our offices are fantastic. So we've got large offices, which is really important, where women are pushing a buggy and carrying lots of bags with all the paraphernalia that comes with a baby, or where there's other members of the family. So for an adolescent, we'll often have the mum and the grandmum in the room, and we're not crowded anymore, so we've got space. And then right next door we have our examining rooms with our own ultrasound. So we carry out our own ultrasound. We don't have to send them off to a different room to be seen by a different person. So again, there's that continuity throughout the consultation. And importantly, we've now got ensuite facilities. Again, this is an intimate examination, as sometimes women need to use the bathroom or provide us with samples. So again, they don't have to leave the office suite to do that. So again, the whole consultation is behind one door and kept very private and very discreet. And again, the clinic room that we've got is now big enough that when we're doing procedures in the room, where we've got equipment and where we've got more than one member of staff because somebody is assisting with that, we're no longer crowded, and it just makes the flow of the work that much easier. So we've had some really lovely feedback from people who've recognised that the investment put into making those offices large and spacious and appropriate and specifically designed for that purpose has just been really fantastically well received by the patients.
Sounds like someplace I want to be.
You'd be more than welcome.
Oh, yeah. You know, like you say, when you walk in, as a woman, I like to be comfortable, you know, especially you feel you just need a bit of privacy, you know.
Absolutely.
I mean, no one knows your problem, but you just want to be, be with your thoughts and just be private. Yeah. Now, teamwork. It seems to be important to every one of you. How does that work in, say, pregnancy?
So I think teamwork is a really key thing, and the benefit that we have of working together is we are an established team. If you look at all of the emergency services, they have to do skills and drills and practice teamwork. We're an established team, so we don't have to practice. We are accustomed to working with each other. Mm-hmm. So with obstetrics, it is very much a team. So there's the clinical team antenatally. There's then working with the midwives, either in Georgetown Hospital or Doctors Hospital during the delivery, and the paediatrician at delivery. And then there's the postnatal care. And again, the team is midwifery in the office, dealing with some of the breastfeeding and postnatal issues, the obstetrician making sure the woman's recovering from the birth, and also establishing breastfeeding. And that very much dovetails in with the paediatricians, who are obviously looking at the breastfeeding from the baby's point of view, but we have shared problems and shared issues. So the fact that family can come back to the clinic postnatally and get all of their needs met under one roof, I think is a really unique service to be able to provide. But the thing about having a baby is it is the most natural thing in the world, but when it goes wrong, it can go wrong really, really quickly and very seriously. And again, having a team that knows how the other person works, we don't have to rehearse, we don't have to second guess, we actually know how we work. And those lines of communication, I think, are absolutely key for patient safety, which is underpinning everything that we do.
With all this technology and just about everything else, in this day and age, do we still see women who die from childbirth?
Oh gosh, yes. Fortunately, it would be very rare in the Cayman Islands for that to happen. So but it is a fact that worldwide a woman dies every 18 seconds. So maternal mortality is a worldwide issue. And of course, we're a first world country. So that's not so much of an issue for us, because statistically, you should only see a maternal death once every 20 years in the Cayman Islands, just because of the small size of the population. But looking at maternal deaths is not the whole point. The point is the near misses, the ones that nearly died. And it's how well you handle those women that become really sick really quickly. And also we need to be mindful of the fact that we are an island, so to get somebody to bigger services like Miami or the UK takes a lot of time. So we have to deal in-house with those issues. And that's where the strength of the multidisciplinary team really comes in. And Madhavi and I are very accustomed to working with the midwives in the hospitals, but also with the anaesthetists and the internal medicine doctors as well. So again, all of that teamwork is really important. And although Integra is a clinic in Grand Pavilion, the fact that we've got those links and work well with the team in the two hospitals, I think speaks volumes for the safety for our patients.
Very well. Ali, how do you fit into all of this?
Well, with the right team, midwifery fits beautifully in with an obstetric framework. Obviously, we focus on a really high quality obstetric care at Integra, but alongside this, I personally offer a more holistic approach to pregnancy and birth. And I think it's worthy of note to say that, we're actually the only private clinic on island at the moment offering a midwifery service alongside the obstetrics. And that means that women at Integra, their clinical and physical needs are being met, but also their emotional needs. So, just for example, I'm offering now a 36-week appointment with our women, and that's largely around preparing women for labour, discussing their birth preferences. I offer advice about how to cope in labour and what to expect. We discuss pain relief options and the pros and cons of all of those. And clinically also I can offer, I can palpate the uterus, I can auscultate the fetal heart, and often that's really reassuring for women at that stage of pregnancy. I also offer postnatal packages. So particularly on this island where there are lots of women that don't have a family support network around them, I offer packages that mean that these women are supported throughout this journey, which often, especially first-time mums need that TLC and that reassurance. A huge part of what I'm doing at the moment is helping with breastfeeding, which is a huge passion of mine. And often I help them just process their birth experience. Sometimes it can be quite traumatic for them. And obviously I answer any clinical concerns they may have as well.
Okay. It's a scary thing to have a child. and personally, back in 1985 for myself, a midwife at a hospital, she did the whole process, and then when you're ready, the doctor comes in. That's about it. That's the only time I see the midwife. So this is an excellent service.
Absolutely, yeah.
Very, very, very good. Now, how does smoking during pregnancy affect a baby?
Yeah.
And what about the use of electronic cigarettes, vaping during pregnancy?
I think it's best to talk about the benefits of not smoking rather than talking about the risks. So by stopping smoking, you're going to be reducing the risk of stillbirth, you're going to be reducing the risk of a preterm baby, and you're going to be reducing the likelihood of having a baby with a low birth weight. And all of that, with that, you're going to be reducing the risk of your baby having any breathing and feeding problems when they're born. And you're also going to reduce the likelihood of your baby being admitted with infections as well. So it's huge. It's a really difficult one. I think it's easier said than done to quit smoking. But if you are pregnant and you come and see us, there are always ways to help you and refer you on to try and stop. I also think it's quite important to discuss passive smoking as well. That affects babies as well in the same way, and particularly after birth. Babies breathe in all those toxins at home, so that's really something to bear in mind, because you're actually increasing the likelihood of having something like sudden infant death syndrome. So it's a really important topic to be talking about.
And do women still smoke while being pregnant?
Yeah, we do see it. Yeah.
How much weight gain should a woman gain during pregnancy?
That's a question we get asked a lot, actually, in Cayman. It's obviously a really individual issue. Everyone gains weight at a different pace, whether you're pregnant or not. Generally, we say anything between 10 kilos and 12.5 kilos during your whole pregnancy is about the norm. But of course, that's comprised of your baby. That's baby weight. That's your placenta. That's amniotic fluid. Your blood volume increases during pregnancy as well. So that all plays a part. I think it's important to stay really active during labour, during pregnancy. So, 30 minutes of gentle to moderate exercise and eating really healthily. Those are the things that you really need to focus on. Look after yourself during pregnancy.
The things we have to put up, women have to go through.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, no. What about gynae? Let's go back to Dr. Madhavi. For instance, talk us through pap smears and cervical screening.
Great. We offer pap testing in our clinic.
Oh, I can't stand that. I'll run from that. That's okay. That's another day, not a studio event.
So this test we offer mainly to detect precancerous lesions of the neck of the womb. Cervical cancer is a very, very slow developing disease. It takes 10 to 12 years for it to manifest. So pap testing offers a unique window of opportunity for us to detect it even before it develops into a cancer. So from the UK standards, we do it from the age of 25 to the age of 64. So we do it every 3 years, from 25 to 49, and from 50 to 64 every 5 years. So we test for both the cells at the neck of the womb, as well as we test for a virus called the human papilloma virus. So we know that this is the common cause for the cervical cancer to develop. And with each year, we are developing and we are getting better at detecting this. So if you're negative, then you just need to have the test only in 3 years if you fall within that age group. And after that, every 5 years. So. I think it's if you're well prepared and we make it very, very gentle examination. I don't think so people need to fear coming to us for a pap test.
What are some of the issues that women face as they age? Typically,
as we all age, yes, we develop problems with our periods. They can either become very heavy or more frequent or infrequent. We also know about the menopause. We start seeing most women start developing symptoms of menopause around the age of 45, which we call as the perimenopause. You start feeling hot flushes, your skin changes, becomes more dry, you have dry vagina, and sex can become painful and difficult. This is something we can offer consultation about. We can offer holistic ways of tackling these symptoms, or if the symptoms are really severe, we can also discuss about hormone replacement therapy, the risks and the benefits of them.
Okay, thank you. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll look over to Dr. Lisa and find out how much of an issue fertility is in the Cayman Islands.
2020. Unprecedented times, uncertainty, and literally a new way of life.
Life happens, usually without warning.
That is why making sure that your family is insured is so important.
Cayman Insurance Center, 47 years strong, working to protect your family and your most valuable assets.
Whether you need to get a quote, renew a policy, or file a claim, Cayman Insurance Center is here to protect you and your family.
For more information, call 949-4657. Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, health, motor, and other lines of insurance products and services at affordable rates.
We bring the sacrifice of praise to the house of the Lord.
Radio Cayman, this is how we wake you up in the morning. Praise time on Radio Cayman.
Sing your praise to the Lord. Come on, everybody, stand up and sing one more. Hallelujah, give your praise to the Lord. We are united in Jesus Christ. We are the soldiers of the land.
Praise time.
Weekday mornings from 6 until 6:30.
There's a meeting up in heaven. Roll call. It's a name in the Lamb's Book of Life. Roll call, brother, sister. Roll call. If you don't stop shouting, if you don't stop dancing, we're going to put you out of our church.
Praise time.
Jesus in the morning, yeah.
Weekday mornings from 6 until 6:30.
Your song flowed through my lips. Your work moved through my hands. Your thoughts stay on my mind, living me.
The HSA Specialist Clinic has relocated to a new, modern, state-of-the-art facility at Smith Road Center to offer you a better patient experience. Receive care from top specialists in chiropractic, complementary and alternative medicine, neurology, ENT, urology, pain management, and more. Our orthopedic and telemedicine clinics remain at the Cayman Islands Hospital campus. Please remember to bring your own face mask when visiting any HSA location. Visit our website, hsa.ky, to learn more. At the HSA, you matter to us.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz. In the studio this morning, we have lovely folks from Integra Healthcare Limited, Dr. Sarah Watkin, Dr. Lisa Joels, Dr. Madhavi Manoharan, Dr. David Altamura, midwife Ali, and Mr. Vincent. Good morning again.
Good morning. Good morning.
I wish we could have you for the rest of the day here because this is so interesting. I learn something new every day on this program. This morning, Dr. Dev, you're being very quiet, so we're going to pick on you this time. We understand that Integra Healthcare offers a comprehensive skin cancer screening, and you did mention some of it earlier when you introduced yourself. On the program, can you tell us a little bit more?
Yes, of course. We do offer this comprehensive skin cancer screening, especially for melanoma. Mm-hmm. Melanoma is potentially the most aggressive type of skin cancer, which can potentially become a life-threatening condition. So it's very important to diagnose a melanoma in an early stage. What do we do to pick up a melanoma early as possible? We do check the skin on a regular basis. So the skin check is a stressless experience because the skin is the organ we can see, and all we need to do is to look at moles with the help of our skin scopes. In some cases, we have to go farther into the investigation, and we have to use let's say, artificial technologies. We have a very advanced, very modern technology in our clinic, which in actual fact is able to scan skin lesion, moles, and give you a very accurate and reliable opinion about the malignancy potential of a particular mole. This is very important because sometimes to diagnose a melanoma in an early stage is not straightforward, and with the help of this artificial intelligence, we can indeed reduce the risk to not diagnose a melanoma in an early stage, and also reduce the number of excision of skin lesions that are actually not required. How long does it take to do a skin check? It's approximately 15-20 minutes in the majority of cases. In some cases, we have to take a little bit more of time. We go up to 45 minutes or an hour in very complex cases. Everyone should have a skin check once a year. People with high risk for skin cancer, possibly twice a year, and people with past history of skin cancer or multiple skin cancer, perhaps be reviewed by a dermatologist every 3 months.
Okay, I've never had a skin test. No. Is it necessary for a lot of us who live, say, in
It's advisable to everybody to have a skin check.
Everybody, okay. Susan? No. I'm going to pick on Susan. I always pick on Susan. Now, can you share some, I'm going to head over to Andrew. Can you share some information on what your online booking process is like?
Yeah, so this goes back to what I said earlier about wanting to run a service that was very, very convenient for patients. So one of the things that we put in right from the start was an online booking process. Many of the online booking processes you see in practices actually effectively send an email to the practice and then someone has to get back to you. Ours actually has live booking. So you can go and visit any doctor on the website. They have their live booking schedule there. You can pick the purpose of the appointment, and then you can select the time that's most convenient to you. It only shows you the available times, and you've got instant confirmation. So it's very, very easy to do.
So how quickly do you respond to those reservations?
So in actual fact, we don't need to respond because the confirmation is instant. So how quick? It depends on your own keyboard skills. But but if you're reasonably quick, you can have it done in 30 seconds. You've got an appointment that's confirmed that absolutely that's what you're getting.
And as a dermatology service, do you offer any educational talks to various organizations or groups about sun awareness and skin cancer prevention?
So part of our vision for Integra right from the start was that if you bring a level of expertise that is very, very high, then part of the responsibility for that expertise is also to share it with other people and educate. So it's absolutely in our DNA as a company. So we do a lot of talks at societies and conferences, particularly things like in dermatology, but it's not just dermatology. We mentor students hoping to become doctors or nurses. We have an active mentoring program. I think we have 3 people being mentored as we speak at this minute. And we also invest in patient education, and it's a growing area for us now that we have the team in place to be able to educate about how best to go through something like pregnancy in the safest possible way, what's happening in medicine and how things are changing over time, the latest thoughts in how to treat certain conditions. And we offer that service really right the way across all of our specialty services. And if anyone wants to get in contact with the practice, if they have a group that they would like us to come and talk to, they can just pop onto the website, drop a quick email to the team, and the team will respond very quickly and set something up. We're very keen to support that.
Okay, I'm going to head back to Dr. David. What other type of skin conditions do you treat?
As I say, we probably spend 40-50% of our working time dealing with skin cancer screening and skin cancer treatment. The remaining time, we dedicated the remaining time to manage the inflammatory disorders of the skin. The most common ones are psoriasis, eczema, infectious disorders of the skin, hair loss, nail problems, also genital dermatological disorders, and of course pediatric dermatology, which is dermatology problems are quite common in childhood, and usually dermatology and pediatricians collaborate together to deal with pediatric problems on a daily, day-by-day basis.
No, we know in the Caribbean, a lot of us, or a lot of people practice skin bleaching. And can you tell us what happens, the damages that can come from skin bleaching?
I believe this is a difficult topic. I and dermatologists
should be another hour for this.
Dermatologists understand that the skin hyperpigmentation is a very common problem with a very important cosmetic impact, and sometimes it becomes a real problem for the person. On the other hand, the treatments are very difficult. Let's say, generally speaking, it is, in my opinion, advisable to discuss with a dermatologist or with a physician with interest in cosmetic medicine any form of treatment before to start treating the skin, because most of the most effective lightening substances can also damage the skin, sometimes in an unreversible way. So it's always advisable to discuss this kind of treatment with dermatologists before to start.
And do you see a lot of people with pigmentation problems like in face?
Absolutely,
yes.
Yeah. The face is probably the target area for skin hyperpigmentation.
Now, the time is just slipping away from me. How crucial is effective communication with patients, and how can it play a vital role in the quality of care experience and even in the overall health outcome for the patient?
A good example, I think, is about birth planning. So because with the paediatricians, we actually have an almost identical desire for a particular way of birthing. So we like to deliver the babies onto the mum so they have instant skin to skin. That really helps with the baby transitioning and thermoregulating, so getting their temperature right. And it's also really good for bonding from the mother. So the fact that we have those shared aims, we both agree with delayed cord clamping, which is in the best interest of the baby. And so managing the delivery in the room, we have a kind of a seamless service because we have shared goals and shared aims, and we take the patients with us. So that's where we discuss that with Ali's 36-week appointment, with our birth planning appointments with Dr. Madhavi and myself around about that time. So we're preparing the woman and her partner for how that birth is going to be managed. And I think just that close communication with an established team that knows how each other works and what each other's roles and responsibilities are is just invaluable.
Okay. Anybody else want to take up on that? No. Okay. How important is it for physicians to approach even the toughest situations with empathy, understanding, and compassion?
Having a baby is a life-changing experience. I mean, it fundamentally changes everything, and so it is not just a technical service. We've got to think of the mental well-being of the family, and that includes the wider family as well. So bring into it not just good clinical skills, but good communication skills and empathy means that you are treating the whole patient and the whole family, and helping them to, through the most important journey that we ever make is the journey into the world from the womb. So I think empathy at that point is key to everything that we do.
Now, where is Integra located again? Integra Healthcare? Andrew?
So we're located at
and your hours of operation?
Yeah, so beautiful Grand Pavilion on West Bay Road, and we're open for patient appointments from around 8:30. Phones are generally live from 8 and actually quite buzzing from 8. And we're obviously five days a week, full-time in the week. We also operate on a Saturday morning as well. Okay. And I think one of the things that Integra has been really outstanding with is actually the availability of our people when people need them. So generally, depending on which specialty, you will find you have very good access to doctors if you're part of Integra, if you just need advice or whatever.
Besides booking online, can someone just walk in?
They can. The benefit of having multiple people in each specialties is that generally there'll be somebody there who will be able to see you. The only difference is that you might have to wait a little bit because obviously there are scheduled appointments. But we would always yes. The simple answer is you can walk in and someone will see you. You just maybe need to be a little bit more patient than if you've got a specific appointment.
Awesome. Any parting words from anyone?
I'd just like to say, I hope you've got a feel of Integra today, that we are all passionate, that we really, really believe in the team. That's from our cleaner, Venice, through our receptionists who aren't here today, to the doctors and nurses, and that we're all about delivering excellence of care. We're committed, and I hope you've realised we're passionate as well.
Oh, we can see it, and I felt it in the studio this morning. I want to say thank you so much, and I'll start with Dr. Ali, Midwife Ali. Midwife Ali, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Lisa, thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Madavi, thank you
very
so much. And Dr. Sarah, thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll move to the gentleman, Mr. Vincent, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much indeed.
And Dr. David, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And hopefully we'll have you back in the studio. You've only been here 2 years, so that means there's a return visit in store.
Thank you.
I want to say thanks to our producer, Miss Susan Watson. Thank you, Susan. To our sponsors, Cayman Insurance Center and Cayman Medical Supplies. And keep looking out. Coming soon, Brack Medical Supplies, specializing in retail medical supplies in the Sister Islands. And to our listeners and our YouTube viewers, thank you so much.
Satisfaction is guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brack to Little Cayman, we've got you covered.
You ever hear a thing like that?
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.